Your brain has lied to you at least 3 times in the last minute, and you didn't catch one of them. You never do. Here are 7 lies it's telling you right now. You're at the Odd Observatory. Let's take a closer look. 7 documented ways your brain edits, invents, and deceives. Each one backed by a real experiment you can look up, counting down to the one that means you've never actually seen now. Fair warning, number 3 has convinced innocent people they committed crimes. 1998, Harvard. A researcher stops a stranger to ask directions. Mid-conversation, 2 men carry a door between them. Behind the door, the researcher is swapped for a completely different person. Different face, different voice, different clothes. Half the people just kept giving directions. They never noticed the human being in front of them had been replaced. It's called change blindness. Your brain doesn't store the visual world. It stores a rough sketch and assumes the rest stays put. You don't see what's there. You see what was there last time you checked. The most famous psychology video ever made. 2 teams pass basketballs. Count the passes by the team in white. Halfway through, a person in a full gorilla suit walks into frame, beats their chest, and walks off. 9 seconds. Center screen. In the original study, about half of viewers never saw the gorilla. Some refused to believe it until the replay. Attention isn't a spotlight that reveals, it's a spotlight that deletes everything outside the beam. Right now there's a hole in your vision. 2 actually, 1 per eye, where the optic nerve exits and no light is detected. You've never seen them because your brain paints over the hole with a guess, matching patterns, extending lines, inventing texture. Part of your visual field, every waking second, is not observation. It's generated content, and your brain never labels it. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. Everything so far is your brain editing the present. The next 3 are worse. They're your brain rewriting the past. Millions of people remember the children's books as Berenstain Bears. It has always been Berenstain. Millions remember a 90s movie called Shazam, starring a genie. It does not exist. This is collective false memory, and no, it's not proof of parallel universes. That theory is folklore, clearly labeled. The boring, terrifying truth. Memory is reconstructive. Your brain stores fragments and rebuilds the memory fresh each recall, smoothing the spelling toward the familiar, blending 2 real genie movies into one. When millions of brains use the same shortcuts, they invent the same past. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus took ordinary adults and, using only suggestion, gave a quarter of them a vivid childhood memory of being lost in a shopping mall. A memory that never happened, complete with details they added themselves, the old man who helped, the mother's scolding. Later studies went further. People remembered committing crimes as teenagers in rich detail after a few interview sessions. This is why eyewitness testimony, once the gold standard of courtrooms, has helped convict innocent people later cleared by DNA. Your most treasured childhood memory? Statistically, some of its details are fiction your brain wrote in later drafts. In a Swedish study, volunteers chose which of 2 faces they found more attractive. Sleight of hand swapped the photo before handing it back. Most people didn't notice the swap, and then confidently explained why they'd chosen the face they had actually rejected. I like her earrings. They invented reasons in real time. Split brain experiments show the same machinery. The brain acts first, and a narrator module writes a justification after the fact and believes it. Psychologists call it confabulation. Your conscious mind is less like a president making decisions and more like a press secretary explaining decisions it never made. Light hits your eye, signals crawl up the optic nerve, the cortex assembles a scene. The whole pipeline takes about 1/10 of a second. So the now you're experiencing already happened. Your brain compensates by predicting the present, showing you its best forecast of what the world looks like right now. Ever glanced at a clock and sworn the second hand froze? That's the seam showing. Your brain backfilled the moment of eye movement with the image that came after. That frozen second is the edit, caught red-handed. You have never experienced the present. You've experienced a very good prediction of it, on 1/10 of a second delay. Here's the observation to take with you. Your brain isn't broken. Every one of these lies is a speed hack, a nervous system choosing fast and useful over slow and true. It works. It got you this far. But it means the honest answer to what did you see is always what my brain decided to show me. The observatory logs something strange every week. Subscribe so you don't miss the next observation.